My fault. I don't go live a lot. I don't be on this internet like I used to a lot. I will change that. I will be here more. In fact, I want to be on your platform more. I ain't gonna lie. You popping and this why I be telling I didn't tell Discern to follow the program. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm proud of Discern because she knew for herself she can do this.
The building. Big shout out to Sis, another one of our main queens for sure. Scope Goddess. Make sure y'all show us some love down there for sure, man. And tap into her channel as well. Sis got some good content over there. She been cooking for sure, consistently. So make sure y'all tap into Sis joint as well. Another one of our main queens for sure. Scope Goddess. Make sure y'all show us some love down there for sure, man. And tap into her channel as well. Sis got some good content over there. She been cooking for sure, consistently. So make sure y'all tap into Sis joint as well.
Hey, Discern Goddess, I'm glad I seen you and I can catch you to tell you this. I don't know what you doing, but you on fire, Discern. I got 3 of them folks who's from Colorado, and they love you, mama. Shout out to the video where you said Shedeur giving you props to all the aunties out there. What if I tell you all the kings giving you props? Like, where I drop the ball is where beautiful queens like you pick it up. You definitely did a great job in picking it up on the news, breaking down information, anything pertaining to Colorado, anything like that. Where I slack, a fire mama like you definitely pick up. So I was waiting to see you too, because I know it's my fault. I don't go live a lot. I don't be on this internet like I used to a lot. I will change that. I will be here more. In fact, I want to be on your platform more. I ain't gonna lie. You popping and this why I be telling I didn't tell Discern to follow the program. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm proud of Discern because she knew for herself she can do this.
Good evening, good night, good evening. Hi, everybody. Blessings, everyone. How are you doing? How y'all feeling this evening? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, please. Let's do a mic check real quick. Mic check, mic check. Can y'all hear me? Put a thumbs up, a 1, a rose, a flower, a star, or something. Let me know my mic is on. Can we? Okay. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, Joanna. Good evening, Coach G. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the late night live stream. Y'all know if I don't come to y'all um like during the regular times, okay, Brock Williams, you got jokes. Y'all know I'm more than likely gonna come to you all with a late night live stream because I have realities. Like I'm a real person with real responsibilities and I have a whole life that I have to manage. So once everything gets managed and put into place and everybody in place, then and only then can I come to y'all with a peace of mind. So when I come to y'all and ask y'all how y'all doing, I hope y'all doing well. I mean that. And it's okay for y'all to ask me the same question. It's okay. It's okay. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in with me tonight. Um, we are definitely in back to school mode over here. Shalom. Shalom, Latrice. Greetings and peace and blessings to you, sis. We're in back to school mode over here. If you are new here and if you're, I just want to let everyone know, welcome to my channel. I am Discerning Goddess, and over here, we love Coach Prime, we support Coach Prime, and we support CU football. And we are internet aunties, internet uncles, and internet cousins. And we are the village. For we know it takes a village to raise a child, but over here we know it takes a village to teach and train, reach and teach, also to motivate and inspire our young people to greatness. Over here, we enjoy advocating for our nieces and nephews, especially when they are not able to advocate for themselves. And if that sounds like something you would love to be a part of and join us, you are welcome. You are welcome. This is the place for you. I love everybody coming on in. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you for showing up. If y'all could do me a favor, tap that like button and pop, yeah, and please share this live stream. Let's get some more people in the room. And if you're new here, I am going to talk about some stuff tonight. So let me just familiarize y'all with what I'm currently. I am currently a foster mom, but and however, prior to becoming a foster mom, I would say I am over 25 years of being a government employee. And in some of my early days, I was a part of Child Protective Services. I'm not sure about where you all are. Whenever you're with Child Protective Services, you are basically working with the sheriff's office. So that was one of my roles. My role was to remove children from homes where they were being abused, neglected, or were in difficult situations which children could not thrive in. So that's some of my experience. I have stories to tell. I could probably tell them, but I don't want to disclose people. But sometimes I might use scenarios, right? Also, um, Child Protective Services and Department in Children Families, they work hand in hand. I've also been employed over there as well within different government agencies. So tonight, I know you all saw the thumbnail, and if you're new here and if you've been here, you kind of know my routine. I do touch on a few subjects before we get to the meat and potatoes and the main subject for tonight. But before I start, um, let me check in with you guys. Let me see what y'all are, um, how many people we have in the room and what we got going on. Welcome everybody. I appreciate you all for being here. Oh, y'all have showed up tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yes, please enjoy the chat. If you're new in the chat, I think I see some new names in the chat, but please get familiar with the chat. Make yourself at home. I just ask one thing. We can definitely disagree, but just be kind. I do operate with a deliberative dialogue format. Be able to disagree in the most in the best of manner, without any name calling in harsh disrespect. I don't want any disrespectful, but you are welcome to enjoy the chat. I see shout out to the channel members. I see Brother Warren G is here. Thank you, beloved, for your support of the channel. Anytime y'all see those green handles, those are people that support the channel and that's have the opportunity to contribute to any of the show's dialogue. So if you want to have be notified first before everybody else about the show, upcoming shows, definitely join the membership. If you want to contribute to any of the topics, definitely join the membership. And sometimes I do go live in membership on days that I don't go live out here. It's a more relaxed space. Definitely join the membership. And there are so many upcoming things that I have planned for membership and members only, because when you are a family, there are some things that are just amongst the family. So those things will be talked about, handled, and addressed back there in membership, not out here. So once we come out here, guess what? Housekeeping has taken place. We know how to act in front of people out here, right? But when we're amongst family, we can really have a real conversation. And one thing this channel does do is we model after Coach Prime, and we definitely do what? We address the elephant in the room. Give me one moment. Coach Prime said,
Let's get
hold
the
on.
elephant out of the room. I don't want to talk about this too long. I'm gonna just talk briefly and let it go.
What you say,
Let's
Coach
get the
Prime?
elephant out of the room. I don't want to talk about this too long. I'm gonna just talk briefly and let it go. Let's get
Yes,
the elephant
sir.
out the room. I don't want to talk about this too long. I'm gonna just talk briefly and let it go.
Y'all heard with Coach Prime. So in membership, we get the elephant out the room before we come out here in front of everybody. So that's one thing you will enjoy about membership because sometimes you know how we want to talk about things openly and freely. We don't want everybody to be in our family business. So back in membership is family business. So if you don't know how to get with membership, go down to the description of this video, there is a link that will take you and tell you what the things are that consist in membership. And I would love to see you back there. Other than that, yes, ma'am, the elephant out the room. Y'all heard what Coach Prime said. Y'all heard what Coach Prime said. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. So before I go, we're about to get these topics going. Let's keep the conversation respectful and on topic, please. Please, please, please. And if you're listening and you're not able to join the chat because there is a time limit, it's 30 minutes. So I'm hopefully you will stay around for 30 minutes. But just understand, we love you here. We want you to stay here. We want you to like, subscribe, and get notified. Click that bell so that you can be notified every time we go live. Okay? And thank you to everybody for your support. There could be no me without you. I appreciate every single subscriber and every single person that gives me the time of day or night, like we are here tonight. So I appreciate you and I don't take your time for granted at all. So let's get on with the show. You know, over here we have to share some news sometimes. So with this, here we said Red Lobster has officially is officially out of bankruptcy, you guys. I don't know if you all were aware, but Red Lobster, what they filed bankruptcy about a year ago. But this brother came in, so they are officially out of bankruptcy, and it's all thanks to a 35-year-old CEO who refused to let the iconic chain die. While everyone wrote them off after endless shrimp nearly tanked the company, this young boss slashed costs, closed deadweight locations, and pulled off a savage turnaround that just saved 36,000 jobs. So thank you to him. And I hope that your city was not one of them cities to close down their Red Lobster. I'm be honest with y'all, I can't remember. I had to be literally like in middle school. The last time I know, right? The last time I went to Red Lobster, I really don't remember. But every time I pass by Red Lobster, the parking lot be full, y'all. So it's somebody going to Red Lobster. Y'all, do y'all go to Red Lobster? Tell me what y'all like at the Red Lobster. Cause I'm not a big um shell person where I eat a lot of shell food. So I don't know what else they serve. But congratulations to Red Lobster and thank you to this smart young man. And y'all enjoy y'all Red Lobster out there. For real. I'm dead serious though. I love an intelligent brother, honey. And obviously he had what it takes to keep the chain going. Let's go. So Miss Joanna said her Red Lobster closed down, honey. Ooh. Well, they might open it back up if they doing good. They might bring a new one. So y'all, did y'all hear about this story where a woman received just a biscuit mat? Yeah. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Yes, ma'am. Did y'all hear about this story? A woman received $52,000 in child support after the child of her father, his mom passed away, and he was the beneficiary on his mom's life insurance. Okay. And then he was supposed to get a payout, and obviously the state flagged his payout and deposited it to the mother of his child. Now we're gonna have to talk about this. So the caption is, my sis just called me talking about we outside. She seen a random 50K deposit and called to verify what the money was for. Apparently, her child's father, mom died, and he was the beneficiary on the life insurance. The state snatched the money for back child support. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all better take care of y'all children. Y'all better take care of y'all children. Now we let's talk about this. Should she keep the whole 52,000 or should she give him some? Should she keep all the money or should she give him some back? Yes, Warren. Wow. Okay. All of it. So he grieving the loss of his mama and the loss of his new start over, whatever y'all want to call it. His new bag, where he could have started over, put a down payment on something, but he done lost twice. His mama died and he didn't get the insurance money. So ladies, my question to you, Miss Joanna already down there. Sister, well, I never got my back child support. Listen, what people don't understand, you would give him some. I think just for the fact that he just lost his mom, I probably would give him some. That listen, Peter D, had he been on, taking care of business all along, he really wouldn't be in this situation. But because he lost his mom, me being the person that I am, I give him about 5,000. That's all I can do is 5,000, and I'm leaving town, y'all. God bless you on your journey, but I got to go. Okay, 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 Peter. All right, thank you, brother. Yes, sir. You say now. She No, she wasn't on the policy. That was the money from the insurance policy. He was on the policy. The money went to him, and the state flagged it because he had arrears in child support. $52,714.19 was what was what yeah what they put into her account because that's what he was supposed to get. So yeah, 52,000. That's the only reason, Joanna, because he lost his mama. Other than that, I promise you he wouldn't get nothing. Listen, but why was he not paying it? Y'all gotta at least go back to court and read and talk to the judge about less, making it lower, but you just don't ignore it. Now, the other side to that is the whole time he didn't pay this, the mother been taking care of the child on her own the best way she could. Like I see both sides, but I don't feel sorry for men who don't take care of their children. I'm tell y'all right now, like that is a bitter pill for me. That's a bitter pill for me because listen, I'm not even gonna get into all that, but there is two sides to every story. I would love for this person, this brother, whoever he is, to give us part two. I hope that shows up on my timeline sometime soon. Like, what is really going on? Like, why you wasn't paying child support is really no excuse. But how you gonna make it through this now? And being that she done been paid her arrears, because this is what this caught her up. Okay, this caught her up. He still owes child support. Yeah, Latrice, I would simply because he just lost his mama. I give him about $5,000. But baby, don't ask me for nothing. Don't spend it all in one place. I'm out. Deuces. Deuces. Listen, that's it. That's all. Because you should have been taking helping me with this baby. Yeah. Well, I know with life insurance policies, after the funeral expenses are paid for, then the beneficiary gets the remaining. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? Listen, they take listen, they don't care where the money come from. They if it's your social security money, they number, they gonna find it. And it will be flagged and it will be put into the places where it belongs. There was a point in time when I ain't finna tell my business, but I'll just say this. Sometimes I know brothers who work more than one job, a job that takes the child support out and a job that really takes care of them and their family. But I know somebody, the child support took they both of their checks. Now the whole time the child support was taking money out of the first job, right? He had a second job. Then one day he went to get paid and it was 1 cent. Child support had done took money out of both checks. And to my understanding, they were not supposed to do that. So yeah, but he was something else. I was gonna talk about that Mac, but I couldn't find the words to be kind and cordial and civil talking about that. He just didn't want nothing to do with her. But at the end of the day, it's two people that are responsible for bringing children in the world. You can't decide that now that the person had the baby, you don't want to deal with the person. You like them enough to lay down and procreate. She ain't asking to be with you. She asking you to be a father to the child. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. And I just ask people to choose wisely. Always choose wisely. Because once there's another life involved, it changes the whole dynamic of everything. Welcome, Aretha. Welcome. You guys, when y'all see those stars by the name or those people in green, those are channel members that support the channel, and we thank them so much for supporting the channel. They are sponsors to the channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So, like, let's go on to the next subject. And this is a PSA. PSA. For those of you who may not be aware, there's this housing program called Section 8. Your current administration, they are proposing a 2-year limit on Section 8 and public housing. What I am saying to you guys, do everything that you can to save your money, maintain your income, and please look into home ownership if you can. Most people already know who my employer is, so I'll just say this. When it comes to Section 8, I know, and it's been largely known for a long time that people live on Section 8 until they die. It's generational. They grew up in the projects, grow old in the projects, and die while living in the projects. So what I can say is this. This is just a mindset. And I know, and I'm gonna say I know people can do better. If they want better, they can do better. For home ownership, I know here in Florida, you have to maintain a full-time job for 1 year to be, eligible for home ownership assistance, meaning down payment assistance if it's available. But if you got the money to put a down payment on the house, fine. But if you're one of those people that have to work your way up to self-sufficiency, honey, brush your britches off, brush your working shoes off, brush off that little desktop computer, blow the dust off of it, get you a resume made, ask somebody to help you make a resume, do something. But whatever you do, don't just sit there and do nothing. Today, nowadays, you cannot depend on nobody to do nothing for you. And when I say nobody, I mean the government. I mean any form of the government. If they are giving out handouts, wow, good. Because the days of just handing out food resources and all different types of things, that stuff is far and in between. I'm just gonna let you know. Grant programs has been sliced drastically. And when I say grant programs, I mean money that comes into the cities that provide programs and outlets to assist families um, with their unmet needs, to assist the hardest hit areas of the city. So that money is no longer available. And if it is, by the time you find out, the funds are already depleted. So the day of thinking somebody is going to cover your housing and pay your light bill, just get that out your head. And I don't so I'm not going to say I don't know what to do, but a lot of people are depending on things like this, which you can't. Now you have to pivot and figure out how would you survive when and if this is implemented. Right now, it's being put into consideration. So, what is your plan when your 2 years is up? What is your plan? And I'll tell you right now, the only people that are protected when it comes to public housing are the elderly and disabled. And if they have their way, they're going to make sure if it's any elderly people that are still on the program, that they are really elderly. But if you are elderly and able-bodied, you probably going to be getting kicked out too. So that is those are my public announcements for tonight. If it helps one person, if it helps one person, I have done my job. Just stop. Mac, just stop. Stop. You say they have HUD FHA for new homeowners that are looking to purchase home. Yes. And in the fine print, they got to be employed for at least a year, full time. That's what I'm saying. Stop playing. Dust off them. Dust off your clothes. Dust off your little computer or something. Y'all got to get out there and figure it out. Yeah. So let's move on, y'all. Like I said in the beginning, give me one moment. Hi, Portia. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So, do y'all remember this couple who adopted five black children and forced them to work as slaves? Well, they were sentenced to 375 years in prison. I don't even know if that's enough. I don't know if that's enough. Do y'all remember the story? Let me find the video. And and I knew stuff like this happens, which led me to become a foster mom because I had family members who were in the system, and it was breaking my heart that I could do nothing about it. So I eventually fought and fought and fought to get the babies, and now they are with me because I didn't want them to be in these people's house. I didn't want them to be with total complete strangers because I always knew stuff like this happens. Okay, so basically, a West Virginia couple has been sentenced to decades in prison for abusing and enslaving their black adopted children, forcing them to perform heavy labor and endure inhumane conditions. Donald Lance, he's 62, was sentenced to 160 years after being convicted of forced labor, human trafficking, child abuse, and neglect. His wife, Jeanne K. Whitefeather, she's 63, she received 215 years after being found guilty of the same charges plus civil rights violation against the children. um Somebody quoted says, "You brought these children to West Virginia, a place that I know is almost heaven, and you put them in hell." That's what the judge said during the sentencing. She said, "This court will now put you in yours." The couple adopted the five black children in 2018 and later moved to um is it Kanawha County in 2023. The crimes were exposed in October 2023 when a neighbor called Child Protective Services and reported that two teenagers were locked in a shed at the couple's home in Simpsonville. Authorities found the children without water, forced to sleep on the floor, wearing filthy clothes, and suffering from untreated sores. According to the prosecutors, the children were forced to perform farm labor. Oh, yes. Listen, listen, listen. One thing I don't play, but I'll play with us all day long. But here's the thing about children. They don't ask to be here. They don't ask to be here. You know, they don't ask to be here. And for anybody to get children and mistreat them, they have a dark, demonic soul, in my opinion. So let's watch this video real quick.
Its tarp floor that stayed on the 9-year-old girl and 11-year-old boy. The video showed a daily routine of waking up early and being forced to stand with hands on head, unable to change or shower, receiving only peanut butter sandwiches to eat before going back to bed on the floor. In the shed, the teens used a camper toilet, holding a sheet up for each other to shield the other from the camera. Lieutenant Pyle said she first began hearing about this in August before the shed discovery, but testified could never quite get a hold of a CPS worker to follow up.
There was a contact made with a worker once, but there was no further contact to coordinate going and making a visit to the residence together.
The jury saw days of video the Arlo camera saved, including the moments deputies busted in the door on the shed on October. Busted in the door on the shed on October 2nd. The children were turned over to Child Protective Services, and when Lance and Whitefeather got back with two of the children that night, they were later arrested. But that was just the beginning of their charges and the investigation. On Friday, the jury got an inside look at White Feather's cell phone. This included text messages between she and Lance where they referred to the kids as monkeys and pigs. Often Lance would describe physical punishment where he said he, quote, knocked one of them. We saw one text where Lance said, quote, somebody didn't say thank you, and his sandwiches disappeared. We also saw more video from White Feather's phone from their time in Washington that also showed yelling and physical abuse from Lance. A finance expert from the West Virginia Fusion Center, Alyssa Ledbetter, also took the stand on Friday. She broke down the adoption payments White Feather and Lance received from Minnesota. She said in total of what they analyzed from busted in the door on the shed on October 2nd. The children were turned over to Child Protective Services, and when Lance and White Feather got back with two of the children that night, they were later arrested. But that was just the beginning of their charges and the investigation. On Friday, the jury got an inside look at White Feather's cell phone. This included analyzed from 2019 to 2023. The two received about $318,000 in adoption support payments, but she testified this didn't tell the whole story.
Well, the assistance began in June of 2018, and I only had from June of 2019 to November of 2023. So altogether, we're missing about 18 months.
All of this leading up to the most harrowing testimony so far on Friday afternoon from someone who lived it. We are not allowed to film or record the victims who will testify in this case, but we're in the room as the teen girl, now 18, but 16 at the time, shared what her life was like both in Washington State and in Sissonville. She said life progressively got worse with White Feather and Lance once they moved to the ranch in Washington in 2019. This is when the outdoor labor began, she said, and the physical punishments that included hits from a PVC pipe while under analyzed from 2019 to 2020 PVC pipe while under a child services investigation there in Washington. Eventually they moved to Sissonville, but she did not know why. She talked about how CBS was called soon after they arrived in West Virginia, and she detailed a visit from a worker who stayed on the porch and talked to them through the screen door. The teen testified she was not honest with CPS because Lance could hear her from where she was standing. Eventually, she and her teen brother, who has several mental health disorders, were locked in a shed in August of 2023. She said she went without a shower for 2 months and never changed clothes. She went from sleeping on a mattress to the floor with a sleeping bag. Her brother slept on the concrete floor with only cardboard at his head. She said she was forced to be his babysitter, but testified he was never the dangerous, violent kid that Lance and White Feather made him out to be. PVC pipe while under a child services investigation there. She recalled the use of physical violence, pepper spray, and racial slurs from Lance and White Feather. She recalled also being scared when police arrived at the shed, worried that she would say something to upset White Feather. Some of her more emotional moments came during cross-examination by White Feather's attorney, Mark Plants. At one point, he referred to White Feather as her mother, and she quickly corrected him. He questioned why some of her interviews before this contradicted what she said on the stand, but when Tuck asked her why she felt comfortable telling the truth now, she said, because I know I won't have to go back to that.
Y'all, I know there was a lot. I wanted to make sure the details in the context was shared with you guys. Listen, as somebody that has worked on in the system with children that are removed from one abusive place or whatever their situation is and placed in a what we call a placement, be it temporary or permanent or long term. It's not permanent until adoption takes place. And then now being on the other side of that, being a foster mom, this hits me differently because I know the process. I know what anxiety they experience leaving what the only thing they know, being taken away from their parents or their caregivers. It could be their grandparents or, extended families. That's all they know. That's all they know. They don't know nothing about being abused or, people being addicted to things and the reason why they were taken. That's their reality. And it takes so long to get them to realize you're in a safe place now. And for to have someone, this is not just a bad placement. This was in my opinion, these people purposely adopted black children just to make them into house help, just to make them into to do hard labor, you know, around their property. They literally lived on a farm, had them children working out there like they was on 12 years a slave or something. Took them back. You know what I mean? So it's like this was deliberate. It was thought out. You mean to tell me it was no white children you could adopt? That's my question. And this is hard for me to talk about without getting very passionate in my feelings because this is inexcusable. And I was reading y'all comments. They better hope they survive those 375 or 25 years that they were sentenced to. And knowing knowing some of the people who work there, the like other correctional, they'll probably protect them. But I don't know if they're gonna get by with this. They was provided over $300,000 in foster care payments and adoption money. So my question is, when they were sentenced, do they owe restitution? Because that money has to go back to the states. Because what y'all didn't even take care of the children with that money. Okay, they implemented and added that money into their income and purchased land with it and made the children work the damn land. That is beyond evil. I don't know what else to call it, y'all. So where I am with this now, like I told y'all, my current situation, I- oh my goodness, I've been talking this whole time. Y'all heard me the whole time or no? Can y'all hear me? Give me a one if y'all can hear me. Okay. Something is happening with my StreamYard. It keeps putting my mic on mute and I'm not even touching nothing. Can you hear me clearly? So I'm going to go ahead and proceed. So what I was saying was I have been on both sides of the system. I have been the trusted person to go and remove children from their homes. I've been the case manager to monitor those children in the homes once they are placed. And now I'm a foster mom. So what I was saying is when those children are removed from their home, no matter what the situation is, that's all they know. They know that they were home with their mom or their aunts and grandmother them. That's their norm. They love it there. That's all they know. So when we remove them for whatever reason, because they don't understand all the types of abuses, sometimes the children used to fight us to stay. But it would take months, weeks, sometimes years to get a child to realize they're in a safe place now. You can be a child, you know, and for a couple or anybody to adopt children, in my opinion, with the agenda to make them your labor, to put them to work, to turn them into the help and put them in inhumane conditions. Like they really got enough money where they could have hired yard people. They could have hired contractors. They could have hired day workers. They got over $318,000 for the whole time they had those children in adoption payments. So y'all could have really hired somebody to do what y'all had those children doing. That's why I say they intentionally adopted black children with the intention to make them into their modern day slaves. Literally.
not figuratively, but literally, had those children out there working the land. And when you look at her, oh God, I'm about to say something real crazy. When you look at her bloated, floated behind up there, and it's like she wasn't missing no meals, and then all they doing is feeding the children peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And sometimes they didn't get that. And according to what I read, the lady was the most abusive with her skunk tail looking self. And they were charged with human trafficking. So what did they have those children doing? What were they exposing them to outside of digging ditches and cutting trees? So I was saying, like, with my current situation with the children that I have, when they ended up in the system, it broke my heart. Like I was inconsolable for days, weeks, and months. It ain't nothing I can do until I had these children with me. Sick to my stomach, couldn't sleep, none of that. Because deep down inside, I didn't want them with nobody else. Literally, you know, I didn't almost lose my job, but I will say this. I thank God for having a boss that understood. And I don't know if it was by me being there for so long that God gave me grace, but she was like, take all the time you need. If you need anything, let me know. Because her husband was the attorney for my agency. So she was like, let me know. You know, we may have put in a phone call here or there, but I ended up getting these babies. And let me tell y'all something. Even being a taxpayer, civil citizen, a person that has friends in different places, you know, them people didn't want to give me these children with my, I wouldn't even say impeccable profile. They wanted these, they was purposely trying to put these babies in other people's house. I hope y'all follow me. They were fighting me to put these children in other people's house. And then I want to say 6 months that they were in those places, they were already starting adoption papers. Honey, let me tell you something. Y'all, talk to your family members, tell them to get right. Don't play about these children because they may not, because the system is set up so differently right now. People just not snatching your children. They will use the system against you to kidnap your children, and there's nothing you can do about it. But hope a miracle happens that unravels all this mess so you can have your babies back with you. But in the case of these wicked people who went ahead and adopted these siblings to turn them into modern day slaves, I don't think it's a special place in hell for them. Because those children have experienced trauma that it will take them a lifetime to get over, in my opinion. See, the article was real lightweight, but in terms of the details have not been disclosed to the public. But because I have a little bit of insight on stuff like this, I'm willing to believe all kinds of abuse that these children were exposed to. And y'all follow me. Let's look at one more video, then we're going to move on. And there's a reason I'm talking about this.
Fighting over 3 weeks of their trial, Judge Mary Claire Akers did not hold back when she had her chance to address Jeannie Whitefeather and Donald Lance before handing down the maximum sentence possible on all of their 31 counts. But before she did that, the kids in this case, the 4 victims and even the 5th child who was considered the favorite, all gave impact statements, both spoken and by letter.
And while they don't bear physical scars, it is exactly right what said and the state said, that they will bear the psychological scars of what was done to them by you, Jeannie Whitefeather, and you, Donald Lance, for the rest of their lives.
The children, who we did not film, all detailed the years of abuse and labor and what impact it has had on them today, both psychologically and emotionally. The oldest teen girl even asked the judge if Whitefeather and Lance could be forced to stand with their hands on their heads throughout the hearing, similar to how Whitefeather and Lance would have the kids stand all day when they lived in Sissonville. The judge denied that request, noting the irony that it would be considered cruel and unusual for her to ask the defendants to do that in court, even though it was done to the kids in their home. Judge Akers instead opted to keep the pictures of them up as they spoke.
They all said today that they're still afraid of what will happen to them if they upset someone.
The kids all talked about how their lives are better now, but they will never be the same. At one point, the teen girl looked at Whitefeather and said, "You are the actual definition of a monster," and said that they were not just
So if y'all are not clear, Whitefeather is the wife, the lady. That's who Whitefeather is. And so when the children had an opportunity to do their victim impact statements, that one of those children told her by herself, which I am happy that they had an opportunity to do that. Can y'all hear me now? Yes, this is extremely heartbreaking, but yeah. So now there's a new story that had come up. And if y'all are not aware, a 3-year-old foster child, he died after being left in the car for 5 hours by a contractor for the Department of Human Services. He was a temporary foster care after being removed from his biological parents, who had been found unfit to care for him. So this baby right here, may God protect his soul. May God protect his soul and keep his soul. Like, he did not deserve what happened to him at all. And so I'm not going to pull it up, but the case manager was a Black woman. But this is what I'm going to tell people, like, working for the Department of Human Services or for DCF or the Department of Children and Families, like, we go through so many background checks. We do fingerprints. We do a host of references. They check our character. They check our personal relationships as well as professional relationships. It's a thorough background to get somebody to be in a position to care for children when you're working for the state. So according to this, it was a contractor. So I don't know what could have been so important, how this lady could forgot a whole child. Let me tell y'all something. We used to do rotating weeks where, as case manager supervisors, we would have to take the actual service phone home with us for 7 days and answer calls and fill those calls. What that means is we can get a call 3:00 in the morning to go drive to a whole nother county sometimes and pick up children. And we can't, and before we end that case, we have to place that child in a temporary place, sometimes a group home, a foster home, or something. And we may not finish that until 9:00 in the morning. So imagine being home in the bed with your husband or your wife, or home with your children, and you get a call because that's your job, is to go and get this child immediately, sometimes from the hospital. Cases like, say, a bad domestic violence incident took place, so children were involved, and here in Florida, they don't play about that. You fighting in front of your children, that's considered cruelty to children, and you will lose your child until you prove that you're fit to have them. So it's like y'all drinking and doing all kind of things and all night long, and then you get to fighting and somebody pull out a gun, the police come and they find children in the house. Guess what? They got to call somebody to come get them children from the police station. So yes, so that's the life of a case manager and case manager supervisor. So it's very tedious. I'll say this. So I said all that to say, what could have made that lady so busy that she forgot a whole child in the car? Where were you, ma'am? What? So I don't woke up the children. Lay down, boo. Lay down. So this baby was removed from all that he know, his mom, his dad, probably his grandparents, only to fall in the hands of an irresponsible worker. So the update to this is the lady was finally charged, but that ain't gonna bring that baby back. Let me find the video of the father because he was inconsolable. You know what? I ain't gonna do that. Y'all go find it because I don't want to like make this a doom and gloom live, but I just wanted to share with us these couple of incidents that involve children, and I will correlate this in before we end this live into another story. Moving right along, y'all. When last time y'all heard from Travis Hunter? What Travis been up to, y'all? When the last time y'all done heard from Travis Hunter? Because Travis been going through a lot. If it wasn't for if it ain't for his daddy and his wife, everybody been doing something to be in the news. Okay. So Travis, how you doing, honey? Are you okay? So it says, let's talk about this because for a long time, and I'm talking about this because I need to address some things. For a very long time, people have known Travis to be with Coach Prime, mentored by Coach Prime, coached by Coach Prime, being a part of the Sanders family, all of that. And for a long time, people would ask, well, where's his daddy at? Right? And no one would really address it because, it's a very sensitive subject. A very sensitive subject to talk about. We don't want to take away from the light that Travis had, what his opportunity he was working on becoming a professional football player. So nobody really wanted to talk about it. And I get it. But sometimes things need to be addressed. And I'm going to address it today. Bear with me. Bear with me. We'll get to that in a minute. So here it says, and this happened about a week ago. It said Travis Hunter's father was arrested in Florida for allegedly violating his probation. The Heisman Trophy winner's dad reportedly was too far away from his monitoring device to be accurately tracked, as his whereabouts were unknown back on the evening of June 28th for 11 minutes. He claimed that he was in a bedroom while the device was in the living room. He then said on July 1st he misplaced the monitor. A warrant was issued for his arrest on July 10th. Hunter Sr. was jailed on a rug and uncharged back in September due to an incident that occurred in 2023. Hunter Sr. is limited to home confinement for a year during the 3-year probation, having served not a 90-day sentence. He was released from prison roughly a week before Hunter received his Heisman Trophy, and a Florida court granted him access to travel to Green Bay for the NFL draft back in April. Hunter Sr. was limited to travel only to and from the hotel, and the draft had to be back home the day after the first round. He was required to submit a travel itinerary to his community control officer. So I'm going to stop right there. So having to go through all of this, seeing your son cry at the Heisman ceremony, and we all saw the video. Travis in tears, and we saw the video of his daddy at the halfway house surrounded by a whole bunch of other dudes, surrounded by a whole bunch of other dudes at the halfway house. And they bigging him up and congratulating him on his son getting the Heisman. Cool, you wasn't there. Okay, we understood that. My heart went out to Travis. And I said a prayer for his dad. I'm like, Lord, please, whatever this man going through, let him, fix it. You know what I'm saying? Fix it so he can experience this opportunity, these moments with his son. I felt bad for Travis and his father. Now, then you get released on probation. Now, the judge didn't have to let you go to the Heisman ceremony, but because Travis is such a beloved person, admired individual in the media, I believe that had a lot to do with the judge showing you some grace and allowing you to go to the draft and to the wedding. That was enough, y'all. So I'm not sure what happened and where he disappeared to for 11 minutes, but he knew better. And it's like, your son is the face of football. I ain't even saying Jacksonville Jaguars. Your son is the face of the NFL, the whole NFL. And you cannot be somebody that even act right for a moment. You have to embarrass your child all over the internet and all over the TV and all up and through these streets. This is crazy. It's no excuse. It's no excuse. I'm not going to apologize. His daddy is somebody that had a high school football career. They said he was great at football. Okay, you had your moment and you ruined your life with the decisions and the choices you made. But God had grace on you, and he extended your talent to your seed, to your namesake, and allowed your child to go further than you, to the highest level. And this is the thanks you give him. This is embarrassing, y'all. This is embarrassing. I don't know what other way to put it, but this is embarrassing as heck. And because Travis loved his daddy so much, child, and like, at some point we have to be responsible adults and realize, let your child stand in the light and you step back. Like, at this point, I believe he's 39 years old. So my question is, where are the people around the dad? Yeah, 39. He looked like he done lived a lot of life, right? He looked like he could be about 42, 44. Yeah, whatever they do is going to reflect on Travis. So we're going to get to Leanna. Travis is surrounded by people who don't appreciate how hard he works. Travis has people around him who are very selfish with his hard work and his generosity. Because you can't be next to a person like that and then only think of yourself. This is sad. This is heartbreaking for Travis. But again, let's get to Liana. Let's get to Liana, y'all. Give me one moment. And I ain't gonna go in on her too much, but I have some advice for Liana. I do. Oh, I didn't save it. Hold on. I thought I saved it. I have some advice for Liana because I don't think she understands how this go. But hopefully, as an auntie, I can share some pearls of wisdom with her that hopefully it'll get back to her and she'll be able to see and correct, get on a course of correction for some of the stuff that she does. Because it's hard for me to believe that she don't understand what's happening. That's hard for me to believe. So a few weeks ago, Travis's wife, who we know as Leanna, posted a tearful social media video. It says, wife of NFL rookie Travis Hunter offered a heartfelt insight into her recent emotional video by sharing a powerful reflection on her personal growth. In a post that followed with a tearful clip, Leanna opened up about how dramatically her life has changed since December, crediting her transformation to a renewed relationship with Jesus and a step back from the noise of social media. This is crazy because if it was a step back from the noise of social media, why would you post it on social media? I don't understand it. Okay? Let me remove. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to have Travis still up there. So her caption said, I wish I can go back and hug December me. Because, oh baby, God was about to change your heart in the most important and beautiful way. I don't even recognize this girl anymore. The amount you can grown and develop in just 6 months of devoting your life to Jesus and getting away from the shackles of the world and social media is truly astounding. I wish the peace I found within Jesus on everyone who reads this. Your identity in Him matters, not how people choose to perceive you. That's cute. I would have appreciated this caption with just a picture, no tears. And as a mom of boys, if I ever saw this, I would have called my son and asked, why is your wife on the internet with just a towel on? Like, at some point, something has to register in your mind. One, I'm married. And this is how marriage works, y'all. You have the two people who are married, then you have the marriage that exists, the covenant in the middle of those two individuals. When you're married, those two people are working to cultivate that covenant. It is not about you, it's not about him, it's about the covenant. So when you do things that are selfish, it takes away from the covenant. It breaks the covenant. You know what I mean? So being on the internet wrapped in a towel, crying when you know whatever you do, the internet is going to go crazy and accuse you of adverse things. Why would you bring that attention to your husband? That's what I'm saying. This is very selfish. Could you not have just? And here's the thing. She has a valid post. I like it. But here's the thing, Leanna. Take it to God. Take it to Jesus. take it to your prayer room. Make you a war room in that big old house y'all done got, and just devote that one room to prayer. There's so much that goes on, right? And we don't have to know about it, especially if it's going to lead into speculation where it involves your husband or your marriage. Protect your marriage from all of these outside voices, even mine, all of these outside opinions. And better yet, just deactivate all your accounts. The only people you need to be concerned about is your close circle. Us on the internet, we don't want to be in the group chat. Because to be honest with you, Leanna, nobody cares. And I know you know that. The person that cares for you the most is in the house with you. And that's who you should be leaning on. This was a huge mistake. And I know you think it's innocent and I didn't mean this. So you see what happened? It all blew up in your face. And they dragging you and your husband. It's like you just tore the scab off of a sore and now it's bleeding again. People have not gotten over all that other stuff, Leanna. So my advice to Leanna, sweetheart, stay off the internet. And if you have to, get somebody to create an app just for you. And go ahead and create an app where your close friends and your real supporters can enjoy all your posts. Because the moment they put you in the shade room, you're going to get dragged from here to Kingdom Come. Okay? Stay off the internet. Learn how to unplug. Okay? Do some meditation. Do something to center yourself. But the internet is no place for your emotions. Yes, it's okay. The tears are fine. Reflecting on how much you've grown is fine. But I'm telling you, the internet does not care. This is not a real place. And it's only going to make you feel worse. So in my opinion, Travis's dad and Leanna truly don't understand the magnitude of Travis's blessing that he has been blessed with. And I believe that they are selfish and their behavior has been embarrassing. Travis should be in the news for other things, not what his daddy is doing or not doing, not being accountable as a 39-year-old man, and not that what his wife is doing, seeking attention. Y'all, I'm so glad I'm in the room with like-minded people. Listen, she needs help. I really think that she needs a life coach. If she doesn't want to go to counseling and therapy to deal with why she is seeking so much attention, because this is terrible. Like, first of all, you had to turn on your camera, hit record, and let the internet see you cry. Like, there's something deeply wrong with people who turn on the internet when you're crying. You had about 15 seconds to dry your face and get yourself together. Then on top of that, you're wrapped in a towel like you just got out the shower. This is alarming behavior. This is alarming behavior. Because your husband is there. If you can't talk to your husband, something is wrong. It's alarming behavior. That's all I'm saying. Leanna, get off the internet, baby. And I'm sure people told you that. And if nobody has told you that in your circle, they don't like you. And they don't love you. You should have been told to unplug a long time ago. Okay? If nobody you care about has told you to unplug or to watch what you post on the internet and certain things that go on the internet, they don't like you. You are surrounded by people who are there to take advantage of your newfound wealth and see how they can be attached to your celebrity husband, because it's all about Travis. And I don't like all of this attention he's getting outside of football. And I'm sure you've been introduced to the Wags of Jacksonville, and hopefully they will share some etiquette tips with you on how to conduct yourself on social media and when you're at home and abroad. Hopefully we'll see a transformation of this Leanna into a young lady. I would love to see that transformation. But Travis has been embarrassed over and over again. It's like people are competing to see who could do the most. People are competing to see who could do the most and embarrass that young man, and it's crazy. Let me see what y'all talking about. Y'all, now we are about to get into oh God, we are about to get into some things. Okay? Coach Prime, have you talked to your friend Shannon? What did you advise him, Coach Prime? What did you say to Shannon, Coach Prime? Hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me tonight. You could be in other places, but you choose to be here. While I'm here, we're going to take a real break. Let me address my housekeeping real quick. I want to thank the mods for modding for me. And I know some of y'all, I did not ask if you wanted to be a mod. And I apologize for that. I just modded you up. But being a mod over here is not a permanent thing. If at any time you want to unmod, please do so. I'm not going to be upset, right? Because I know a lot of people mod for other channels, and I don't want anyone to feel like they are in conflict of their responsibilities or loyalties in other places of YouTube. So if I unmodded you and you really didn't want to be a mod, feel free to unmod. I will not charge it to your heart. I just understand people don't want to be modded everywhere, and I get it. So with that being said, I know sometimes y'all see me in others' chats, and sometimes y'all will like refer to my channel. Y'all might refer to a recent video or something like that. People don't like that. And so I'm asking y'all to save y'all, kindness. Come over here and post it on the wall or something. Or wait till I do a video and then you get up in the chat and you're free. But when y'all talk to me about my channel in somebody else's chat, they don't like it. And it's very revealing and it's very telling at the same time. One day, probably in membership, I'll talk about how weird YouTube is once you become a creator and how people treat you differently and things like that. This is why I always give DJ Bless One, I shout him out every chance I get. And if y'all seen the new intro, it also has Dino in there. I can honestly say those two brothers have done nothing but been very helpful to me, not because they mention my channel on their platform, because they genuinely care about me, learning how to do YouTube and just, feeling welcome in this space of CU when it's so male dominated. And when I say male dominated, I mean male dominated. There are so many, he is a real one. There are so many YouTube content creators that do CU. I've been very quiet. I have been taking all kinds of shade. People will come over here and strike my channel. Shout out to the monitoring spirits. People come over here just to watch, to see what I'm talking about. They never support. And then people come over here. This is how I know they watch, because they will out hear my talking points in their videos or their live stream at some point. But it's okay. I'm glad that I educate others. But this is what I want us to know. It's hard being a woman in the sports space, especially with CU. CU is a very toxic, and I'm saying that in the kindest way. It is a toxic community doing CU football because there are some people that think that they are the gatekeepers to CU football, the players, any subjects about Coach Prime and anybody else. What I will say is this: as women, there are content creators that benefit from your support, but they don't support women. They want you in their chats. They love your super chats, but the moment you start a page, they're gonna disappear like roaches when you turn the lights on. Men don't support women in this space like women support them. I'll say this again, and I'm not trying to separate us. I'm not trying to cause a war, but the reality is what the reality is. So obviously, some men feel like I compete with them, so they would never mention me on their channels, and that's fine. They don't have to, because I don't associate with myself with everybody anyway in real life. So what I am saying to you guys, I see you and I thank you for hanging in there with me. I'm not trying to be like everybody else. Let me also say this. I know I'm different. And I'm not trying to do what other people are doing. I already know the direction where I'm going and how I want to tie all this in, right? So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate y'all. But if I modded you without your permission and you mod in other places that are probably not favorable of me, but you don't want to be in the middle, you are more than welcome to just unmod yourself. I completely understand, and I will not take it personal. Y'all are funny. Listen, I see my brother out there. So, greetings, Brother Charles. Thank you for tapping in. So let's get on. Yeah, I try to mind my business too, Mac, until they start throwing a little shade, right? Until they start saying little things that are just ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I would never mention anyone by name over here, but and I'm going to move on from this, but just know, just because I don't say anything doesn't mean I'm not aware of it. I am definitely aware of it. What I do hope for all of us is that we heal and that you pray to God that He fix your heart. She said all the aunties need to pray for Travis and Shedeur. They are very strong men of God. Travis' wife need female mentors. Pray someone sincere and honest step up for her. Can't say. Yeah, I really want that for her as well. And she has to be open to a mentor. You know what I mean? Because I know that there's a cultural difference there. She's from one culture, he's from another culture, but she has to be open to that. And sometimes I know with these young people these days, they really feel like we don't know what we talking about and we can't tell them. And I hope that's not the case. But she really can use a mentor. You're never too old to have a mentor. Thank you, Jen. It's your first time in the chat. Welcome, sis. So let's get on with Shannon Sharp. Oh, hold on one. Miss Joanna, thank you for the super chat. I love you for that. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Joanna. I appreciate your support. You said, talk about it, sis. We've been quiet long enough. I'm trying. I'm listening. I'm going to talk about it as nicely as I can. A couple of people already know that I do have a little fire, but what I am saying, if I'm not talking about you and I ain't messing with you, leave me alone. And with that, we're going to take a brief commercial break real quick.
The building. Big shout out to Sis, another one of our main queens for sure. Scope Goddess. Make sure y'all show us some love down there for sure, man. And tap into her channel as well. Sis got some good content over there. She been cooking for sure, consistently. So make sure y'all tap into Sis joint as well. Another one of our main queens for sure. Scope Goddess. Make sure y'all show us some love down there for sure, man. And tap into our channel as well. Sis got some good content over there. She been cooking for sure, consistently. So make sure y'all tap into sis joint as well.
Hey, discern goddess, I'm glad I seen you and I can catch you to tell you this. I don't know what you doing, but you on fire, discern. I got 3 of them folks who's from Colorado, and they love you, mama. Shout out to the video where you said Shedeur giving you props to all the aunties out there. What if I tell you all the kings giving you props? Like, where I drop the ball is where beautiful queens like you pick it up. You definitely did a great job in picking it up on the news, breaking down information, anything pertaining to Colorado, anything like that. Where I slack, a fire mama like you definitely pick up. So I just I was waiting to see you too, because I know it's my fault. I don't go live a lot. I don't be on this internet like I used to a lot. I will change that. I will be here more. In fact, I want to be on your platform more. I ain't gonna lie, you popping, and this why I be telling I didn't tell Discern to follow the program. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm proud of Discern because she knew for herself she can do this.
I am back. I'm back, y'all. I just had to make a quick adjustment real quick. As y'all can hear in the background. They be acting up in the middle of the night when they be trying to sleep. I guess my voice be irritating them, as if they didn't just terrorize me all day long, though. And the moment I start talking, they act like I'm disturbing their peace, y'all. This is crazy. But anyway, we're going to keep it moving right along. Thank y'all for hanging in there with me. Let's get on. Y'all help me figure this out. What in the world? We just want to say, what in the world? Shannon Sharp. And I ain't going to go too hard on him because I know he done been through a lot. But we got to hold you accountable, beloved. Brother, we got to hold you accountable. Oh my goodness. Hold on 1 second. Look at the sisters showing up. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Latrice. You said keep cooking, sis. See you, AunTies. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Y'all ready to talk about Shannon Sharp over here? Y'all hung around just to talk about Shannon Sharp. I appreciate it. Look, we done lost some people because they don't want to hear nothing about Shannon Sharp. But let's say this. So I'm not going to regurgitate. Yes, the brothers do shout me out. Listen, and then what I'm saying, I'm not dismissing others, but I have to give credit to those that support me and those that show me honest and genuine support. Nothing more, nothing less. They're just happy to see, me over here getting my foot in the door, doing the work in the way that I do my work. So in that, I can't do nothing but be appreciative and appreciate my brothers, appreciate the kings for holding it down. So, listen, Dino and Bless One, they're real one. So if y'all are not subscribed to Up the Skull, Dino Up the Skull, go over there and hit subscribe. Over there, you are going to get a family gathering / barbecue, the cookout / barbershop environment on the panel, but in the chat, it's all love. Okay. We have fun in the chat. It's a party in the chat, and Dino he is so good at highlighting, most of the comments and saying hi to every single person in the chat. And of course, I mod over there, and we make it a great, safe place for everyone. And as far as Bless One over on I Smoke Hip Hop Live, he is a solo creator. So basically, he's going to break down everything with receipts, with intelligent, thought-provoking, articulate, advocacy. He's going to hold everybody accountable. He does that. He talks X's and O's, but he definitely is what you would call a reporter, a journalistic reporter who digs into and pulls back all kind of receipts to make it plain to everybody in terms of what is going on. And I promise you, if you are a thought-provoking person and you just want to hear the context, he's going to pull it up, things you've probably never seen. So check out I Smoke Hip Hop Live. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. So let's go. So Shannon Sharp. We just got through talking about Travis Hunter dad embarrassing him. Shannon Sharp has been caught up, y'all. And all I'm gonna say is we all have our personal and private lives. We all have our personal. I don't know what is going on, but yeah, stay away from them. Thank you, Adam. Welcome to the chat. You're new here. I appreciate you. We all have our personal and private lives. I will say that when things are uncovered and become public, that's when everything seems to unravel. And your moral compass, or people begin to question your morality. So let's go find this brother. He has something to say to Shannon. Give me one moment.
You're in the spotlight or not, men are rising to prominence, then falling. Not because they lack talent, but because they lack sexual self-control. Even in the streets, if someone wanted to set up a drug dealer, they didn't send a hitman first, they sent a woman. Why? Because the average man is enslaved by lust, and he will go wherever an attractive woman leads him. For it is even written, she seduced him with her flattery, and he followed her like an ox to the slaughter, not knowing it would cost him his life. My brothers, when your manhood is anchored to your libido, you're always one temptation away from losing everything. Unfortunately, some men won't hear the warning until they've already lost it all. Although I wasn't surprised ESPN fired Shannon Sharp, I am troubled by a pattern I keep seeing. Whether you're in the spotlight or not, men are rising to prominence, then falling. Not because they lack talent, but because they lack sexual self-control. Even in the streets, if someone wanted to set up a drug dealer, they didn't send a hitman first, they sent a woman. Why? Because the average man is enslaved by lust, and he will go wherever an attractive woman leads him. For it is even written, she seduced him with her flattery, and he followed her like an ox to the slaughter, not knowing it would cost him his life. My brothers, when your manhood is anchored to your libido, you're always one temptation away from losing everything. Unfortunately, some men won't hear the warning until they've already lost it all.
Hi, I'm back. I hope we were able to hear the video. Y'all can go find him. It's Jason Wilson over on YouTube for the whole video. And it's very enlightening, very, very much needed. You know, a lot of times, and I will say this, when people get to a certain status, and I've probably been guilty of this too, when you make a credit score a certain level and you make a certain amount of money, it's like, it's not too many people you want to listen to. And I say that, you know, just because I have to remind myself I am not above correction. I am not above guidance. And it just appears that, you know, we saw Shannon being warned. We saw him being warned by Malik. We saw him being warned by Cat Williams. And it's like God was seeing you warners. He was seeing you comforters. He was seeing you signs before, you know, destruction hits. And now you see Shannon going through all kinds of things trying to unravel. So here's what I heard. Allegedly, I'm not ready for the link to be dropped back, but I might drop it later. Allegedly, ESPN gave him 90 days to fix that situation. Allegedly. Settled on day 88, thinking that everything was going to be fine, you know, and he would be able to retain his job. But this is what I know. The moment he took that leave of absence with CNN, them people already knew that they was not going to have him back in the workplace. And see, what y'all forget, and I meant to cue that clip. Let me know in the chat. Do you remember that scene in Malcolm X when he was in court? Him and Spike Lee, and the judge sentenced them to all those years, and then gave the two ladies probation. Do y'all remember that? Let me know in the chat if you remember that scene. Let me know if you remember that scene. And we all know that they didn't get sentenced because of the crime. They got sentenced because who they kept company with, which is the same today. Give me one moment. Let's go. You remember, Matt? Yeah, the judge wasn't worried about what they had did. They were pissed off that you had the mitigated gall to walk around here with a woman. So you gonna get taxed. You're going to get taxed when you're dealing.
Let me tell you what my baby need. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon need. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
Monique, she wasn't 26. Allegedly, he met her when she was 17. Allegedly.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get your old bitch out there that can love you old.
Excuse the language.
You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. When they want you to go for the fourth round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you want some money.
So y'all get the gist. Y'all get the gist. So here's the story I like to tell people too. She said one day a man was drowning in the water and a boat came by and said, "Do you need any help?" He said, no, thank you. God will save me. Then another boat came by and said, "Do you need any help?" And he said, no, thank you. God will save me. Then he drowned and he went to heaven or hell, okay, and said, "God, why didn't you save me?" And God said, "I sent you 2 big boats, you dummy." Okay. So we have to pay attention to the signs. We have to pay attention to the messages. We have to pay. And sometimes people will come to us and you might not like the package. You may not even like the messenger, but sometimes we have to be reasonable enough and sometimes humble enough to listen to what's being said. Pay attention to what's going on, right? And that takes discernment. That takes wisdom. You know, sometimes, and in this case, Shannon, he thought Monique was joking, but he should have took heed to every word she said. And y'all, it's the comments for me. I'm not going through those comments because we have some more show to go, some more show to do. But I will say this. Shannon Sharp is not a person that I would have. Welcome back to my dinner table, Coach Prime. You have young, beautiful daughters. And what he has done is not even his lifestyle. It's a behavior issue. This is something that he's been doing and he just got caught doing it. This is somebody that doesn't see anything wrong with, tapping into somebody's youthfulness and controlling it to their benefit. And that's a dangerous person to have around your young, growing 20-something-year-old daughter. Get Uncle a hug. No, Uncle can't have no more hugs. I can pull it up, Brother Charles. Uncles can't have no more hugs. No, we know you love little girls. So I would be very concerned about anybody that still has Shannon Sharp coming around their family, especially their daughters. Like stuff like this. Because this is this isn't an isolated incident. When it comes to predatory behavior, this is something that's just who a person is, and it doesn't get, noticed until it gets noticed. Give me one moment, I'll pull it up. He's going to have a long time digging his way up out of all the soot and what this has done to his character and his reputation. Give me one moment. Okay, here we go. Give me one moment. We're going to have to figure out which one is the right video. Give me a moment. I'm going to share. Thank y'all for hanging in there with me. I appreciate it.
Why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need to know. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Come on.
Because early on, you was accusing me of being.
Cat.
He didn't be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need to know. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Come on.
Because early on, you was accusing me of being.
Cat.
He didn't be wanting the body. And the problem with Friday After Next is I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. Come on, Cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. Come on, Cat.
Women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again.
Did y'all hear that? like, Cat came and opened his mouth. It's like when he opened his mouth, he opened Pandora's box and all hell broke loose for the rest of the year. It's like, and it's still unraveling. It's like, Shannon, you had two people sitting on your sofa. Monique, Cat Williams, ain't no telling who else warned you. But sometimes people think they are above reproach and they are above, consequences. But this is one of those moments when it first happened, I said, oh, he gonna have to take this L. And it's like, he thought he can pull a Jay-Z and do an open letter or whatever and deny stuff. And then it's like, you've been warned. But, do I think that Black men are being targeted? Absolutely. I absolutely believe that. But what I will say is this, especially to wealthy Black men who have wealth and assets and things when it comes to their status, their public status, who they are, their positions that they're in. When you have stuff to lose and you take a risk like this, you deserve to lose it all. You deserve to lose it all. That's just where I am with that. Like, one thing I cannot ever compromise with is people who abuse children and people who abuse elderly people. I could never meet you in the middle. And from what they are saying is he met the girl at 17. But once she got with Tony Busby and he knew all the bells and whistles and then they went back as far as she was 19. Because had they brought up the case at 17, that would have connected him to Sean Combs, because allegedly, he met her at a Sean Combs event. So only thing I can say is this. There are consequences for everything you do. You do something good, there's a reward for that. You do something not so good, there's a consequence for that. And we have to be accountable for what we do and how we do it. And know that when the day comes, we may have to, own up to it or not. And this has cost him his public reputation. This cost him his job. This cost him $100 million deal. Shannon Sharpe was in the process of signing a $100 million deal for a podcast that was going to benefit a host of other podcasts under him. So he lost it all. He lost it all because he did not have discipline. Now, let me tell you something about discipline. This is how I know. No, I ain't gonna say that. Discipline is something I notice. I strive to be a disciplined person. I don't quite got it right. But when it comes to men, I definitely look to see how disciplined they are. Because a man that has no discipline will ruin his life and yours as a woman, single woman or married woman. One thing I always pray for, in my prayers to God, is whoever you send me, make sure he's disciplined. I want a disciplined man with moral character. Those are my top two requests. Before I get to the height, age, weight, and all of that, discipline and moral character is at the top of my list. Because if he has no discipline, he will fall victim to all the things that are out there. And I ain't gonna harp too much on Shannon Sharp. Y'all saw the stories, y'all saw the headlines, we seen it all. But what the sad part about this all, y'all, and how strategic PR is, they released him, they fired him and released the headlines right before his brother's induction into the Hall of Fame, which is crazy. Again, another embarrassing moment for another Black man. But again, I cannot feel bad because Shannon Sharp brought this on himself. You know, again, like I say, everybody has their own personal lives and things that you have doing, but you have to be mindful of what you do in the dark. When it does come to the light, how would it fall among the people that love you the most? So let's take a look at the moment he had with his brother during the Hall of Fame, the induction speech. I feel like I want to highlight this as well. Give me one moment. I love that speech, but Shannon Sharp done embarrassed his brother down into the Hall of Fame. This was supposed to be a moment that was his whole ordeal, his whole scandal has overshadowed his brother's moment. And for that, I have to look at it like crazy. Like, how could you make such a mistake or do things that you know, if it was exposed, it would cast a dark shadow not just over you, but your family? Yes, I don't know if that was his wife. I'm assuming that was his wife, but Matt, stop being messy. So I want to say congratulations to Sterling. However, Shannon, this has been a very expensive lesson for you. To my understanding, you paid out $50 million, and the girl in question got 20 million of it in that civil lawsuit. And the only thing I could say is, what else did you expect? What else did you expect? And see, there's other context to this, y'all. This is why I need y'all behind the wall over there and membership, so that we can really get down into the history of, you know, people and their decisions that they're made, especially when they don't belong in the neighborhood where you belong. For years, these women have been lying on black men. But for some reason, listen, in the words of Cynthia G, that's your preference. And we are going to move right along. Coach Pran, you is not going to get away from this either, because, see, you done broke the internet. You got people talking. Coach Prime, y'all ready to talk to Coach Prime? See what he got going on? Yeah. Y'all, we about to get in Coach Prime business. We about to get in Coach Prime business tonight. Coach Prime, see now, and I think some of y'all were live with me. That was an actual reaction when I saw Karruche in the hospital room. I was like, who's that? Y'all, who is that? Oh my God, that's Karruche. It took me a minute, but I got it. But listen, Coach Prime got the internet buzzing. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, 57, dating Karruche Tran, 36. What's that? A 20-year age difference? Well, we're going to talk to Coach tonight. There's a 20-year age difference. Well, there are people on the internet. It's like, here's what I want to say to black women. Dear black women, everybody, all black men are not the same. Okay? All black men are not the same. We have to learn how to pull up, like let up. We have to look into things a certain way, like, okay, That's not the same. But when I see a lot of this content, it's like, oh my God, who hurt you? Sis, who hurt you? Let that hurt go, ma'am. Because Black women have been on Coach Prime's head top by Karruche. Okay. So exactly. So what I want to say to us is we have to think, just pause a minute and think. Is there an age gap? Yes, there is an age gap. There's nothing wrong with an age gap when that woman has a little bit of seasoning. Now, the difference between this age gap and Shannon's age gap, Shannon was with a 19-year-old, and he, what, 60-something years old? I don't know how old he is. He's too damn old to be with a 19 or 20-something year old. Somebody old enough to be his daughter. Now, with Coach Prime and Karruche, there's a 20-year age difference. However, she's 36, about to be 37. This woman is not in her teens. She's not in her early 20s, and she has lived life. There's a difference. At 37, she's old enough to make decisions and not be highly manipulated, coerced into activities and things like that. So we can all come to the conclusion that she is of age to make sound decisions with a 57-year-old man. Before I proceed, is how do y'all feel about the age gap? Let me know down in the chat. Let me drink some water. Correct. She's not 19. So what I am seeing with a lot of the content creators and in all of these comments is that, they're relating it to the same. Shannon Sharp was with a child. Okay? He was with a child, point blank period. Point blank period. However, this is not the case with Coach Prime. Now, let us get into some footage because the people are upset. They are upset with Coach Prime, and all the man did was have a private life. All he did was have a private life. Could he be guilty of misusing Karruche? I don't think so. I don't think he mishandled her at all. Give me one moment. Let's pull up this video. Hold on. And my daughter probably listening because she thought this was such a kiki. She gonna send it to me. Hey. I say it's already on the show for tonight. She wanted me to see this so bad, y'all. Oh my God. Let's go. Let's go. Let me drop this overlay down.
Been dropping videos about his cancer battle, and from the looks of it, he's flying solo.
That is not true. Claudia.
What should I say? What do you think?
Nothing.
Somebody better say something.
Listen, I'm good friends with Tracy Edmonds, and I do remember Tracy hearing.
Let me pause. So, Claudia, did Tracy tell you to share this story with the world? That's my question to Claudia. Sometimes people talk too damn much. So my question is, did Tracy utilize her friendship with a blogger to put this story out that we're about to hear?
Rumors about Karruche possibly dating Deion. So she saw her at an event. I think it was Niecy Nash's event. And she, calmly, just in conversation with her, she asked her if she was dating Deion, and she said no. She laughed it off and said no. So, it was kind of like to hear it and to see this now. But look at them too. Like they look very cozy, like they were friends. Like that's Tracy and Karruche.
Claudia, I can see the picture. Claudia.
Deion Sanders has been dropping videos about his cancer battle, and from the looks of it, he's flying solo.
Okay. So what I'll say is this. Claudia is not, she's the wrong messenger. For those of us who know, we know. You said Karruche was already grown when 19-year-old was a baby. Yeah, so I don't think there's absolutely anything wrong with their age difference. She's 36, about to be 37. Okay. If we are familiar with the science of mating, right? If Coach Prime wants to pursue a relationship with her or possibly even marriage, it's always advised that we go with older men because they are wise, they are more mature. We know Karruche's history. She's been with Chris Brown. She was engaged to Victor Cruz. We know how that ended up with Chris Brown. He was put on a restraining order, obviously immature, right? And quite a savage. And then not sure what happened with her engagement to Victor Cruz, but she has tried love several times. And so it looks like she has found love again with Coach Prime. With that being said, let me say this about Claudia, in reference to Tracy Edmonds. Was Tracy and Karruche best friends? That I don't know. Give me one moment. Let me find that other clip. But child, this is messy. And I understand why Coach Prime would keep his life private, because the moment the public becomes aware of it, it turns into a circus. So, according to Claudia, let me see, it might be a repeat, but we're going to listen to it again. Give me one moment.
I do remember Tracy hearing rumors about Karruche possibly dating Deion. So she saw her at an event. I think it was Niecy Nash's event. And she, calmly, just in conversation with her, she asked her if she was dating Deion. And she said no. She laughed it off and said no. So, it was kind of like to hear it and to see this now. But look at them too. Like they look very cozy. Like they were friends. Like that's Tracy and Karruche. I'm good friends with Tracy Edmonds. And I do remember.
That's a repeat. So in one of the video clips, you hear Claudia say that was messed up of Karruche, especially with somebody who's provided her opportunities. So it's almost like she was alluding to Tracy as Tracy being an executive producer, or maybe putting Karruche onto jobs, or introducing her to different job opportunities as an actress. Okay, I would say that is dirty. But let's talk. Let's talk. Can we have a grown folks conversation real quick? We know that Coach Prime was engaged to Tracy for quite some time. I want to say 10 years, maybe 11 years. He was engaged to Tracy Edmonds. Allegedly, Tracy came in the picture with Coach Prime when Coach Prime was either still married to Pilar or ending his marriage to Pilar. Tracy had been in the picture. So there was some overlappage there. So we could probably assume with Karruche, there probably was some overlappage, where Karruche is concerned. I will understand why he want to keep that private, but that's his business. Do I approve of it? That ain't how I move. I don't fool married men. I don't entertain men who are in relationships, period. In fact, when I was heavily pursued by married men one time. I said, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you help yourself. And your wife gonna thank me. I'm gonna help you go back to your wife and enjoy your marriage. He said, how you gonna do that? I said, I don't entertain married men. He ain't believe me. I ignored that joker for months. Don't play with me. But I will say, listen, I'm going to say, I love, from what I can see, I love Coach Prime with Karruche. I think that'll be a great fit for him. I don't see any messiness. I don't see it. It looked like she really cared about him. But here's the reality, Karruche and Coach Prime. Coach Prime, don't play with her. See, you men, some of y'all men, y'all, especially, I'm talking to the single men. Y'all are good for being single for a whole lot of years. And then when your body starts breaking down on you, your toes fall off and you're losing body organs and stuff like that, then you want to settle down and stuff like that and be with somebody. Don't be ready to settle down when you need us to act like your CNA or your home health aide and stuff like that. I'm telling you something. I run from. That's why I want to know what people's health condition is, how your health is. Are you into health and wellness? Because baby, I'd be dogged if I get married to you and then next thing you know, we can't do nothing because you home on a ventilator or something like that. That sounds selfish, but that's just how I think sometimes. Don't be picking me when you finish living life and now you got all these health ailments. Whatever, Mac. Choose her now. Grow old together. But anyway, that's something men like to do. They like to live their life. And once they get to a certain age, then they want to choose them somebody that's gonna help them get around the house and in and out the car. So Coach Prime, I'm looking at you a little bit sideways, but not so much because I think that you are a good fit for Karruche, and if y'all make it work, it will be a nice story to be a part of. Like, I would love to see that work. Here's the thing, though: people are championing for Tracy Edmonds. I like Tracy too. I was sad to see them break up, but I will say this: we have to consider this about Tracy. First of all, they were engaged for 10 years. But as for Tracy, she married well 2 times and divorced well 2 times. Coach Prime married and divorced. And each divorce, he had to pay out a substantial amount in those divorces. So between Coach Prime and Tracy, both of them were well schooled on the business of marriage and the business of divorce. Tracy knew that if she married Coach Prime, she needed to have her prenup structured a certain way. And Coach Prime knew if he married Tracy, he needed to have that prenup structured a certain way. It is my theory that the reason they were engaged for so long is because they could not come to an agreement when it came to that prenup. This is my theory, my opinion. I could be wrong, but this is my theory because they were a beautiful couple. They were a power couple. I love to see them come. I love to just watch them go. Like, she had her stuff going on. She supported him along the way. She was a great fiance. I have to give that to her, but it's something about what was happening when they came to the table to discuss moving forward with the marriage. It was just stagnant. So I believe at that time, when they decided to go their separate ways, they went their separate ways. Now, if we could recall back a few years ago, Coach Prime said he was in the porter. I think when he said he was in the porter, he had no moved on then. I never thought he was with Roxy. Although she looks like his type, what I do believe though, Roxy and Karruche are good friends. That's what I think, and that's what I believe. Let me get to y'all comments real quick. Welcome to the chat, Jean J. Came up in here. She said, I don't see the problem here. I love me some Claudia Jordan, but Prime and they are good in my book too. Jen, me and you think alike, girl. You say when Coach Prime ran a post route when he saw Pilar. If you don't move on from over here with this, get away from us. Girl, you silly. Yes, he did, though. He sure did. Jean said she want to settle down when they can't sit up. I'm not finna fool with you right now. Mac, you say I already tried the marriage thing. Didn't work. Give me. Lord have mercy. All right, Shannon Sharp. Who would be good for Coach? Latrice. at me being nosy. Coach was out. Latrice, who would be good for coach? Oh, Latrice, hold on, Coach Prime. Look, Latrice is in the chat and she wants you to consider her. So Latrice, girl, put your Instagram down in the comments in case Coach Prime here, he can go check you out. Anywho, let's move right along. I heard that. What I will say though, Latrice, is Coach Prime has a type. And go back and look at his ex-wives and his former fiance, and you'll see that he has a type. Even when it comes to Karruche, he has a type. So I do not recommend women be interested in men if you are not in his pathology of women he's considered. So that's just my rule of thumb. But go look at his types, and if you are his type, he might be interested, girl. I wish you the best. Listen, I just be trying to help a sister out. That's all I'm saying. I don't want you to waste your time. Let me keep going. But so, for the people who are around here championing, going on their little missions and saying, Tracy, listen, Tracy is a businesswoman, which I'm not mad at. And so Tracy did not want to go into that situation not protected. And I get it. So when a lot of times we hear the word prenup, we thinking a person is like, why do you listen? A prenup helps both sides if you know how to do it. If he presents you with a prenup, you say, okay, thank you. And you take that prenup to your attorney and let your attorney go over it. And you sit down together and you restructure what you would like in that prenup. So a prenup is not a bad thing. It protects him, but it can also benefit you if done correctly. So let's move right along. I see y'all having a party in the chat. I love that for y'all. Becky said we all know. Yeah, we gotta know. Don't go in no situation blind, honey. No situation blind. You gotta know what you're dealing with. So, Coach Prime, that's all I wanted to know. And I wanted the people to know too that you and Shannon Sharp are not the same. What he was doing and what your situation is two separate situations. They are not the same. Coach Prime has a 36-year-old young lady. And Shannon Sharp was dealing with a teenager. And Shannon Sharp should be thanking God every second of the day that they didn't put him under the jail. Let's go. Speaking of Deandra, and y'all, did y'all see Coach Prime hang up the computer on Asante? Asante was just asking him a simple question, and Coach Prime done hung up the doggone phone. And now, Coach Prime, I'm gonna have to ask you something. Why you hung up on that man like that? All he was trying to ask you was about, getting your business a little bit for the rest of us. And you done hung up the doggone computer talking like you got a bad signal. Coach Prime played too much. And you better believe we was all ears too, because we wanted to hear. So here we go. Let's go.
All right, last one. I'm gonna let you go, Coach. Don't kill the messenger. Everyone seen Karruche by your side during your hospital visit. Everyone wants to know what that friendship is about.
We got a bad connection. I can't.
Listen, that's a player move right there. Coach Prime ain't nothing but an old player, honey. Ain't nothing worse than a player, but an old player, honey. Only thing worse than a player is an old player. Coach Prime is an old player.
You gotta go.
I came back.
Shout out to Coach Prime, man. Coach Prime, man. Clap it up for Coach Prime, man. Coach Prime is wonderful, man. Got a bad connection, baby. Karruche. All right, last one. I'm gonna let you go, Coach. Don't kill the messenger. Everyone seen Karruche by your side during your hospital visit. Everyone wants to know what that friendship is about.
We got a bad connection. I got a bad. I can't.
You gotta go. Say
I can't back.
Now, Coach Prime, you done had this girl crying all over well off media. She done went viral on everybody's blog, and you don't want to claim the girl. Coach Prime a mess. At least say, yeah, that's my new baby or something. He talking about he got a bad connection. Claim her. Make her into an honest woman. This man talking about he got a bad connection. He don't even want to acknowledge it. He ain't trying to claim nobody. This man a mess. Go get y'all coach because he acted up. This is what I'm saying, and this is why a lot of people keep their situation private, because this is awkward. This is a really awkward position to be in. I don't know, ladies. I don't know about all this, but at least he did give her some bit of exposure. So I would say it's serious, because dealing with the Sanders men, they don't put no woman. Bucky is the only one that we see Brittany every now and then. But them other ones, they don't put no woman on camera. At least if they do, she way in the back. And if you ain't know no different, you wouldn't even know that was
Deion Sanders has been dropping videos about his.
That was Shedeur's friend or Shiloh's friend or something like that. They are very discreet, in other words, when it comes to their private life. But I want to say I wish Coach Prime the best. I really do. And I hope that this works out. And I hope that this turns out to be a great pairing for him and Karruche. And I hope it leads to something very serious. I do. I wish them the best. I really want that for him. I do. And I see y'all down there talking about Deandra. Let's check on our niece. Deandra, Mac down there talking about you. Say hey to Deandra. Say hey to Deandra. Our niece is always applying pressure. She's outside. She's doing great things. You know, that's Snow's mama. That's Snow Mama. Y'all say hey to our niece. Hey, Deandra. Hey, Snow Mama. So Deandra has several initiatives out. She has been busy being the socialite that she is. She has been busy. She has a production coming out. I want to say in another month or two. She has she's going to be in a movie. So look forward to seeing Deandra on your screen in a production, a actual role. So I love me some Deandra. My niece be applying pressure and can't nobody say anything bad about her, not in my sight. So let's take a look at Deandra the other night as she was at an all-white charity event. And I love that she's active, very active in her initiatives. And she has not let, life break her down to the point that she's not, still working on her ambition and getting things done. Give me one moment. So this is Deandra. She says, I am truly honored to have been a part of the We Can Wear White, the White Dress Project, and everything it stands for. As someone who has battled fibroids personally, this cause is deeply meaningful to me. Raising awareness, especially for women who silently suffer, is not just important, it's necessary. It was an honor meeting everyone who shared their story, contributed to the research, and helped bring this issue to light. Nights like this remind us of the power in our stories and the strength in our community. Thank you for letting me stand in purpose and in solidarity. Let me tell y'all something. Deandra is extremely intelligent. I know a lot of people get lost in her vernacular, but I have followed her for some time, and she's very intentional, and she leads with purpose, and that's one of the things I like about her. Not only was she there in white, but baby, everywhere Deandra go, Snow go too. So Snow be at the events with his mama. Snow be over there meeting the celebrities. Okay, Snow got him a little fresh lineup. Okay, he was on his mama hip. You know, Snow is like, I'm here too. What babysitter? We don't do babysitters. I go wherever my mama go. So shout out to Shedeur Sanders. Deandra was also a part of the panel. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I felt the way I felt when all that mess was going on, because I know she is way better than what was happening to her. And I just wanted her to focus and get herself back in the pace where we were used to seeing her in a certain light. So she's not just outside, she's outside doing things. Like, yes. Listen, all the babies was there, honey. All the babies. I know that's right. And not only that, she looks absolutely beautiful. The dress was very flattering on her. It wasn't inappropriate or any of that. She's literally dressed like she's somebody's mother, but in a classy way. And I love that for her. You know, look at Deandra. Not to say anything wrong with the other ladies, but Deandra was she was probably the most modest person I saw in the pictures. So again, she was dressed like she's somebody's mom. Very intentional, very mindful. And white is a hard color to pull off. Ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's a hard color to pull off. Snow was dancing, child. Snow was getting it. Let's go back to Snow. Go, Snow, Snow. Look at Snow. All on his mama. Y'all. Snow was like, I like that music. Go, Snow. I know that's right. Let's take a look at her movie real quick. I hope she posted it. No, she didn't post the movie. Let's see if it's in here. Okay, no. All right, y'all. So that was a look at our niece Deandra. And y'all, you know, Shalimar been at the ranch too. She been fishing with a glove on. I have never seen anybody fish with a glove on. I love me some Deandra, y'all. That's my niece. Listen, that's my niece. I'm gonna always go to bed with her. Shalimar came out and spent some time with her dad too, and she was out there fishing on the ranch. Shalimar remind me of me because, baby, when that fish started moving, she looked like she wanted to throw him back out there where he belonged. I love the relationship that Coach Prime has with all his children, but it's just something about his relationship with his girls that truly touched my heart. And I love that they do take the time to be there with their dad and give him their undivided attention as well. So before I get to Shedeur, and we're going to close the night out with Shedeur, but before I do that, we're going to have a perfect prime time moment, y'all. We got to get back into. Okay, so did y'all see this video?
Phillips for the first 250 people.
I'm gonna need a couple of them fill-ups.
Too easy.
Legendary.
My first day at KFC. How many boxes we got left? Me and my shift just took care of 250 fill-up orders.
We're here at KFC giving out free fill-ups to the first 250 people.
So y'all, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Coach Prime dropped that probably yesterday, and I was like, okay, that'll be cool to add in my perfect prime time moment. Real quick, let's run over here and check on Shiloh real quick before we get to Shedeur. Shiloh has been, of course, y'all know Tampa loves Shiloh, and Shiloh loves Tampa back. So Shiloh done went over there. Shiloh out there high stepping like his daddy. High stepping like his daddy.
We got the best fans here in Tampa. Thank you for my coach,
True.
man. We got the best fans here in Tampa.
Hey!
She don't even run that fast. We got the best fans here.
Shiloh is enjoying himself over there with the Bucks. Everybody is treating him like he is family. You know, I don't know what else to say. Shiloh is just basically enjoying himself, y'all. He got the fans, the aunties bringing him sodas, Coca-Colas, and everything. How y'all doing over here? I appreciate y'all still hanging with me real quick. We're gonna get into the last segment of the night, which is Shedeur. Y'all been in this chat active up, I see. Good night, Latrice. Peace to you, Queen. All right. Shout out to go KFC. Yep. So let's go, y'all. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about our nephew. Shedeur I don't even want to call it an uphill battle. I don't know what this is, or what can we call it. I have no idea. But it's just what I will start out saying though, as supporters, and I tell people all the time, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm a family member. You know, last time I checked, auntie means family, and that is something I do not take lightly, and I intend to be an auntie to my nephews and my nieces and a sister to my brother. So I want to talk to the actual family members, the people who have grown and have watched them grow up. Many of us are in certain positions. To my corporate sisters and brothers, to my to the brothers and sisters out there who like to organize and activate and speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves, I need for us to look into filing a EEOC complaint on behalf of Shedeur. The EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity case, because the evidence is all over the internet. The evidence is all over the television, starting from draft, right? And based on that, it's only gotten worse. So Shedeur is not gonna do it. Of course, he ain't gonna do it. Coach Prime ain't gonna do it. Of course, he ain't gonna do it. So of those of us who are care for this family, who are deeply affected by watching this happen, somebody has to speak up. And I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know if this is so, it's no words for what we are witnessing. You think the sore arm thing was just to Shedeur and look at the other? Well, whatever it is, let's get into the content, y'all. So I'm going to start with the gym. I'll start there with the gym. Give me one moment. So earlier this week, after the Blue Child, the Browns GM came out and he just had diarrhea at the mouth. I'm like, my goodness, he's saying a lot. It's almost as if he had a whole big old attitude, like he came out there to get some people straight. You know, do y'all think he saw some of these videos over here? Hold on.
I think that's really more of an Andrew question, okay? But I think, what was that pick, 146? We thought he was good value at 146. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur.
First of all, he said pick 146. Shedeur was not 146. He was 144. How are you the owner? How are you the owner and don't know what pick your number one QB is at? Thank you, Latrice. Yes, I want to do this. I'm gonna look at. We're gonna file EEOC complaints on behalf of Shedeur, and we are going to start a change.org petition. I would like to get with people to see what we want to put in that petition. And I don't care. Somebody might be listening right now. They might go ahead and start it before we do. That's fine, as long as it gets done. We want to put things in that petition, or that the outcome is going to benefit Shedeur at the end of the day. So at this moment, the way I feel, I'm tired of looking at this happen to him. I'm tired of witnessing this happen to him. Welcome, Vanessa. I'm tired of seeing all this happen to him. What can we do? Because many of us are in positions. I know my chat is full of strong women. And if we talked on the phone and I really found out what y'all do for a living, I know y'all can make stuff happen. Even if you work from home, I know you making stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? So we have to go ahead and put all that we know how to do. And when it comes to relegating and us handling business on a daily basis on behalf of ourselves and others, let us go ahead and get together and handle this business right here on behalf of our nephew. He's saving face there, mistreating Shedeur. Yeah, he's definitely doing that. Somebody asked me, hold on, let's finish playing this video and I'll get into that conversation.
I know everybody has a vision of Shedeur, but he's come in the building, worked hard, kept his head down, and done what he's supposed to do, as has Dillon. Those are hard decisions.
Okay, one thing I do notice about them, they can't talk about Shedeur without mentioning Dillon. They will never say anything good about Shedeur without also including Dillon. The question was about Shedeur. Let's go back.
I know everybody has a vision of Shedeur, but he's come in the building, worked hard, kept his head down, and done what he's supposed to do.
Okay, kept his head down, done what he's supposed to do. What is he supposed to do exactly? What is he supposed? He sounds like a whole
Dude, as has Dillon. Those are hard decisions. Listen, Travis Hunter is a special football player.
Okay, so we're at the Cleveland Browns. Why is he bringing up Travis Hunter? I don't understand how Travis get in this conversation. This man is all over the place.
And I do think he can play both ways, and I think he'll do well. He's also a great kid, not a good.
Okay, so the question was about Shedeur. You added Dillon in there, but now you're comparing Travis and Shedeur. Y'all gotta catch this slick. How they move the goalposts, how they manipulate things. Now, prior to the draft, y'all saw them pit Shedeur against Cam Ward, pit Shedeur against Travis. And now you see this man, this is the owner of the Cleveland Browns at the Cleveland Browns. They're asking him questions about Shedeur, and he's still out of his mouth comparing Shedeur to Travis.
Great kid. So we were locked in on that. And then
so Travis is a great kid. Shedeur is not a great young man.
The opportunity came up. Time will tell whether we did the right thing or not. Well, I think that's really more of an Andrew question, okay? But I think, what was that pick?
He said time will tell whether they did the right thing or not. Give me a moment. Let me get the other video. Well, I will say this. The way y'all treating him is crappy. Okay? That's what I'll say. Give me one moment.
If you'd have told me, so you picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation.
I had to pause.
Conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call, but that's Andrew's call. He made the call. If you'd have told me, so you picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call, but that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
So you heard it from his mouth. He basically said he didn't want Shedeur, and the way they treat Shedeur right now, they still don't want Shedeur. They don't care how good Shedeur is. But they want the fan base support. Like, you say that now, you should have said that before all those jerseys got sold. He should have said that before all those jerseys got sold. He should have said that before people bought season tickets. Okay? Again, we have to figure out how to handle this in the best way, right? That it don't affect Shedeur. But we still have a voice. We are still deeply affected by all of this that has happened. So somebody asked me, what do I think? This was the day that he said it. What you think about? Well, I think it was a CYA move. He was covering his behind. Because it was a play in motion. No team was going to draft Shedeur at all. He was going to go undrafted. But because the Cleveland Browns did it, he had to throw his GM under the bus. And the GM, being the GM that he is, he ain't going to come out and say it's a lie. He want to keep his job. So I believe Jimmy Haslam probably has been getting a bunch of slack behind the scenes from the other owners, because now they are sitting here watching just how good Shedeur is. And they kind of pissed. Well, I thought we weren't going to get the little nigger. We were not supposed to get him. And now you end up with him. He's the best dang quarterback you got. So they really feel like Jimmy Haslam played them. Even though they love to say 5th round draft pick, 144. They know damn well they got the best quarterback at the cheapest price. You know that's what they said, Vanessa. We were not supposed to get the Lord Niker. And then you go ahead and you got him. You got the best dang quarterback that's out there. You know that's what the hell they saying while they spitting out tobacco on the side of the road. So he's had to answer to that. I'm pretty sure the owners have been calling him, cussing him the hell out. But now that they're seeing Shedeur in practice and training, showing out, heating it up, baby, it's some owners that's pissed. because they could have got Shedeur. They could have got Shedeur. Okay. But Cleveland Browns, he ended up at the Cleveland Browns. When I tell you, oh, I keep listening to everybody and they say this is the worst organization in the NFL. I'm watching it. We see it. This is like, oh my goodness. I feel terrible for Shedeur, y'all. And sometimes my heart just aches. And sometimes I'll find myself sitting there watching all of this madness go on. And yes, it makes me teary-eyed because I don't wish that on him. But we got to continue to keep him in prayer because there has to be a light at the end of this. So somebody put this post up there. And I don't remember this question being asked in this manner. And I kept looking for the video to correlate with this post. So it says, what's the response by Cleveland Browns owner to Deion Sanders announcing he beat cancer? So they're saying, Jimmy Haslam says, how about telling the world how he didn't want his son on the team? Shaking my head. Shedeur Sanders has been the best rookie in the Browns camp so far. He's balling today too. So Jimmy Haslam, according to this, didn't have anything nice to say when Coach Prime announced that he beat cancer. Only thing he could bring up was the fact that Coach Prime didn't want Shedeur there. But here's what we're going to say to y'all over at the Cleveland Browns. It's a special place in hell for you raggedy, wicked bastards. Because from what I know is you don't get to treat a good person bad and think that you're going to be blessed. Unfortunately, this is going to be a rough year for Shedeur, but it's going to be even worse for the owners. It's going to be worse for the owners in that organization. Nobody is taking accountability. Shedeur is clearly working circles around all of those other quarterbacks. And for some reason, they're still suppressing him, no matter how good he is. Right? So it's okay, Shedeur, take your break. But I do believe the moment when they had said Kenny Pickett was out because of a hamstring, I said the only thing hurt on Kenny Pickett is his feelings. But now they're going to throw this monkey wrench out there and then say Shedeur was out to soreness. I believe that when Shedeur says that. Today, Shedeur posted. He posted this. And I believe this was an answer to all the rumors about his sore arm. This is what Shedeur posted in his stories about an hour or two ago. Go look at his stories. He posted a video of his trophy, the Johnny Unitas Award. Now, if you understand the Johnny Unitas Award, it is going to the quarterback with a strong arm, pretty much. Let me pull up what the Johnny Unitas Award is for. Let's look into what that means. It says the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award is given annually in the United States to nation's top upperclassmen quarterback in college football. Candidates are judged on accomplishments on the field as well as their character, scholastic achievement, and leadership qualities. The award was established in 1987 and named after Johnny Unitas, who was nicknamed the Golden Arm. See, Shedeur is saying something without saying something. He was saying, they riding here lying, talking about I got a sore arm. And see, he can't come out and speak about it, right? But he posted this. The way I interpret it, Shedeur posted this to let us know ain't nothing wrong with his arm. What y'all think? What do y'all think? Because I could be wrong. I could be reading into this wrong. But what y'all think? Because he didn't have to repost this. He didn't. But Shedeur, whatever you meant by this, we stand with you 1,000%, beloved. We do. And just like after that doggone owner got up there and talked crap, and then Bucky, Deion Sanders, he made a statement after that, but he went on ahead and either deleted his response to the owner or archived it. But I saw it, Bucky. I saw it, baby. But basically, what Bucky said, you have to. What kind of owner are you, talking like this about your quarterback and expect them to do well? Stay strong, Shedeur. You can bend, but don't break. And even then, just know that when you feel like bending, we are here to hold you up. We got you. Ladies, and to our aunties and uncles in the chat and listening to this, we got some work to do. My email address is on my channel. It's in this description. Please email me if you want to be a part of the committee that is wanting to go ahead and file an EEOC complaint on behalf of Shedeur against the Cleveland Browns or even possibly the NFL, and us getting a change.org petition going on behalf of Shedeur. I am truly sick and tired of this. I don't remember watching nobody ever having to work in these conditions in the NFL. They might have had to, but they didn't have aunties and uncles and cousins like Shedeur had. We are tired of going back and forth online. We are tired. We are not about to type about it. We're going to be about it. So before I go, let's get into some of your comments. Thank y'all for hanging in there with me. I appreciate it. Joanne say he wasn't on the board for grabs until, fifth round. Yes, Portia, they really do got him messed up. I interpreted it correctly, Latrice. Okay, thank you, because I just thought it was me. Cortez say nephew is being wiser than a serpent, harmless as a dove. The Most High is with him. Yes, ma'am, absolutely. Latrice, you've been a real one tonight. Says we will be there. Yes, we have to be their voice, and that's what I mean. This is what the village is for. We speak up for our nieces and nephews when they can't speak up for themselves. Right now, Shedeur is working. He has to maintain a safe environment. But what he can't do, he will. Shedeur is he is a young God, and he knows, yes, we got him. Yes, we got him. I love my village. Y'all on point tonight. I love it. Listen, we have been on stream over 2 hours, going on 3. I would love to stay here and keep talking, but I don't want to hold y'all up. I know y'all got to go to work tomorrow, and some people you got to go to school. So with that being said, I might come back tomorrow afternoon to just check in with y'all briefly. But don't forget to join the membership, because I do intend to take a lot of these conversations behind the wall, because we are family. Everything is just not meant for everybody, okay? So before you go ahead and tap that like button, and I will see you all in the next video. I love you and God bless you.